Well, welcome back to BIPOC Access. We're here at the Blockchain Futurist Conference in Toronto, Ontario at Cabana Rebel, and we connected with Matt here from Black Brooklyn. It's amazing to see so many people working within the industry coming from all over the world. And our brother here is from New York City, and we just wanted to introduce himself and give you, BIPOC Access, a bit more information into what Black Brooklyn is all about and how you can get involved.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for the platform. We're definitely here all the way from Brooklyn, New York, here in Toronto at Rebel, hooking up with the BIPOC community, make sure we bring that information of Web3 back to our community. I'm the co-founder of Black Brooklyn. We're a platform that we essentially bring information back to our communities, the BIPOC community, and make sure that we're involved in Web3 and blockchain technology in a real way. What that means essentially is making sure that the right minds, the right entrepreneurs, the people that are interested in future-proofing themselves and being part of this new marketplace, we want to make sure that you have all the correct solutions, whether that's software solutions, hardware solutions, just the people solutions. We want to make sure that we bring that information back. Our slogan right here, blockchain for the block. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that, everywhere on every block, we understand blockchain technology and we're united by it. So that's a little bit about us. We're www.blackbrooklyn.io is our hub. But yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
Did that. And I appreciate you sharing more with us about what you're doing and also that the fact that you guys are bringing the blockchain to the block. And I wanted to touch on what you said in there as well. You talked about future proofing. So to some of the people out there that may not be familiar with that terminology, what is future proofing?
Future proofing is essentially making sure that you're able to interact in newer marketplaces. So crypto in general, Web3, that means you're interacting with digital technology. We kind of gone a long way since COVID from interacting with cash. A lot of establishments don't take cash. You know what I'm saying? It's just straight tap, you're tapping. So it's the new progression is going straight into the digital. And with crypto technology, blockchain technology, we're able to have assets that we can trade with each other, that we give it value, and we just have to understand how to actually contribute to that marketplace to help it grow. And the most important part is that it's decentralized. So we always tell people that you could be part of a decentralized cultural movement, because this is one of those impasses where culture and technology meet. So we give it that value. We want to make sure that we don't just add that sauce, but we keep that sauce here and we, keep cooking up. You feel me?
I definitely feel you. And talk a bit about what you had just said there as well, in terms of when you're connecting with communities and you're bringing new people into the blockchain world. What do you find is like one of the things that makes them hesitant to get into blockchain, or like what have you heard from people once they get into your group and they kind of start to get it? What do they say is like what stopped them from going in the first place or getting to that point in the first place?
Yeah. Man, that's kind of like the biggest hurdle is communicating what the technology can actually do for us, and having us understand what the power is in this technology, right? So the biggest hurdle I think is access, right? Or that's well, the biggest hurdle really is access, whether that's through education, the hardware. Barrier of entry is you need to have a crypto wallet. You have to understand how to interact with the wallet. You have to understand, what's the difference between DeFi and blockchain and NFTs, and why do I need this type of Ethereum to buy this NFT, but there's Solana NFTs, and there's a lot of confusion. So we want to make sure that we try to clear the air. That's really why we're here. You know what I'm saying? At this conference in particular, I just watched, to plug in internet computer. You know what I'm saying? They've had like a great presentation, and they're looking at like hardware solutions for people to actually have pieces of cards, whether it's Visa's doing it now, Mastercard, where you have a debit card that also interacts with crypto. So there's an exchange built into it. It's on chain, and you can kind of take either your money that you already have. If you have one form of crypto, you can change it for another form of crypto and use it. But then the other barrier is being a part of that marketplace. So who's taking this cash? Who's taking this crypto? What businesses are interacting? What designers, if you need marketing, who's taking crypto to be able to, you know what I'm saying, keeping all of this digital, you know what I mean? And another big part of it, which I think is very important, is making sure that we all stay connected. So it's a BIPOC community and we're global, right? But we want to make sure that we interact with each other. I'm from Honduras, that's in Central America. Remittances are big. issue with our, sending money back home. And, by the time you send $100, they're only collecting about like 45 of those 100, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody got a hand in the pot. You know, these types of technologies make it so that we can interact globally, you know what I'm saying, and still kind of control how much money, how much assets are being exchanged. So I think those are the three most important things: is adopting the adoption of it, the education of it, and being able to actually utilize it.
And I really appreciate what you were talking about there because you're really showing the utility within it and how it can help out marginalized communities, not just here, but around the world. So maybe you could speak a little bit more about that. What are some of the other tools that you're seeing within Web3 that you think are going to make a difference in terms of quality of life for people in underserved countries?
For sure. That is very important because you hear a lot about with crypto and Web3 the sustainability. You hear people, oh well, crypto, it's going to use a lot of electricity, and sure, those things might be true, but you're also setting up systems that are self-sustaining. So a country like I'll use Honduras. If you want to mine a certain type of crypto on a certain blockchain, you could set up maybe like some solar power to get you a little rig that's going to help you mine the crypto, and you make money in order to mine the crypto. So you're being incentivized to create that. Now, that's one part of it. Then you're taking a market, you're creating a marketplace now. So now that store that was a mom and pop store, a community store that, they have to interact with Visa, and Visa's taking like a percentage of whatever and it's not coming in, so it's a little harder for them. Now you can set up something, either a coin, or set up a system where they can interact with crypto, and once you bring the crypto in, you can kind of work it, or whatever it is that you're mining, whatever coin that you're mining. There's a lot of like case studies to show what it is, but um, there's a lot of opportunity for our communities to really utilize this technology to empower themselves. You know what I'm saying? Create a system where, I'm in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of West Indians. I just miss Carabana out here, and unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of a big issue where it's like, I know cats that's in Flatbush right now that really have businesses back home in Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? And they have to set up, the shipping, they have to go through all of these different parties to do this and that and the third, exchanging, and you lose some money along the way. But if you have certain systems like Web3, crypto technology, there's less of a buffer, you know what I'm saying? And everyone will be involved in the marketplace. Yeah. I don't know.
No, that was a very good answer. I appreciate that. And I think a big part that I also want you to touch on a bit is, what do you think is the future where this is going? And like, at what point do you feel that there's going to be more of a mass market adoption?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's going in a great direction. I think that's why we're so involved in it, is because we want to make sure that our folks are involved in this direction. We've at Black Brooklyn, we've experienced, once again, you can check us out, blackbrooklyn.io. You know what I'm saying? You can check out what we've done. We've interacted with Metaverses. Through Smooth Studios, we actually have like physical digital products where we're taking physical products that already exist. We have an audience for. We're connecting that to like NFC technology. You take or
Digital
If you take digital wearables, you can buy its shirt, and you can actually wear that shirt in the metaverse as well. You know what I'm saying? We're just continually pioneering these types of innovations. We put together a metaverse festival where we have different artists. They can come out, and we produce it in a way where they show their media. We've interviewed them. We piece it together in a nice festival where people can come in. They'll come into the metaverse. They can see it there. We're syncing that with a live location where you could come to the location and actually watch the festival as well. Get you a drink or whatever smoke, whatever it is that you're doing, and really like find different ways to continue to create these marketplaces, because it's not just for the techies, you know what I'm saying? It's for the artists, it's for the small business that, if you have you're a party promoter, you can go in and, if you take crypto, that's a whole nother audience of people that might come bang with your party, you know what I'm saying? So we try to like continue to innovate, you know what I mean? And we talk about these innovations because it affects a lot of different minds. So we want to continue to keep doing this. So every Wednesday we have a space on Twitter where we just have different people come through. They talk about it, not just the technology, but the culture, how what we do is affecting the technology and what we can do to have our voices heard in this technology. If we don't contribute and if we're not active members and we're not educated on these things, we won't have a voice, because policymakers, wherever you are locally, they have to understand how you and your community engages with this technology and what's in benefit. If you're not involved, you don't have a voice. So through Black Brooklyn and through our contemporaries and other people in the, like, my guy One, I'm saying, we want to make sure that through NFT communities, through crypto, through DeFi, through every types of marketplaces, Black Brooklyn is here to make sure that we represent for crypto. You know what I mean? Especially in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Because the hood knows about it. They just know about it through different types of ways. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that we let them know, no, this is all one thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's just find a way to connect. You know what I mean?
That's important, and especially making sure that they're getting factual information as well, so that they're and trust 100%, so that they're going to move forward in the right direction and be able to scale. And I appreciate you taking the time to connect with us today and teaching the BIPOC Access community more about Black Brooklyn. And I'm going to give it back to you just so that you can let them know one more time where they can find the information, where they should be adding you, and how they can contact you in case they might have questions or maybe somebody might be looking for mentorship.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely hit us www.blackbrooklyn.io. Follow us on socials. That's blackbrooklyn_. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. We do the live streaming of our Twitter space, which is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You could join us on Twitter, blackbrooklyn_. Get with us. We definitely have a newsletter that we do weekly, which is filled with information that's very relevant to the culture. It's very relevant to what's happening right now in the technology. Also, community-based events over in New York City. We interact with the whole tri-state area. Shouts to the people out in NFT Philly. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to everybody back home that's working in the space. Shouts to the spot, NYC, over at Brooklyn Navy Yard. Peace, Tyler. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that we keep our communities all engaged, all together. So definitely check us out, blackbrooklyn.io. And one more thing, blockchain for the block. You know what I'm saying? That's the hashtag. Anytime y'all want to reach us, anytime y'all want to show love for the blockchain, hashtag blockchain for the block. That's going to lead to us right there, baby. All right? Love.
I appreciate that. And remember, check it out, hashtag blockchain for the block. And we appreciate Black Brooklyn for connecting with us today. And hopefully BIPOC Access and Black Brooklyn connect and bring something to Canada.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your access has been granted.
Yeah.